Sunday, 26th of November, and it's cold and it's wet and it's horrible and I need a shave. Yes, I definitely need a shave. For the sake of consistency, I'm going to use the same tobacco, which is very, very nice stuff and lathers up very, very well. Little tobacco shave stick, excellent for travel. Anyway, this will be hopefully my last test on the dreaded Japanese Babaqueen, which although is a superb little razor, it's not its new old stock, as we all have seen in previous videos of mine. I last tried it after it failed. Well, not failed, but it just wasn't superb on natural stone. And the last one was a Laloon. It was okay. I shouldn't say any more than okay, really. It was okay. However, really, I want a bit better than okay. So I'm going to compare it to my Puma 91, which is on a natural stone, but is on a rather nice natural stone. It's on a Belgian cortical, and that seemed to work well. Under the microscope, quite rough. You wouldn't say it was a mirror edge by any means. Anyway, they looked about the same, and they shaved differently. So, in conclusion, today we're going to try the Babaqueen, which was last on a Laloon, and was, it's all right. And I've put 200 laps of a black surgical Arkansas on it now. So really, it's on a black surgical Arkansas edge. Although so many much more intelligent people than me have said, you should do lots and lots and lots of laps. It is, the black ark's a very, very slow working stone. Well, it's glacially slow. It takes a millennium to do anything. However, because I put an extra layer of tape on the spine, it should in fact be a little bit better. So that will be the test. By putting an extra one layer of tape on the spine, you alter the angle so that the final edge, the final apex, has had a little bit more angle to it. So it should in fact be truly on a black arc edge rather than what it was, which was, I'm rather enjoying this, which was on a Laloon. This, I would say, is probably the nicest, easiest lather I've tried in ages. Really very, very easy. Like all lather, watch it. It does tend to dry out because I waffle on too much. Anyway, that's the lather, which is the tobacco shave stick, one of my favourites. And here is the little beast. Dry your fingers, chaps. Oh, another little tip. When you've finished and you think you've done and you've stropped so that your final edge is nice and dry on your strop, it's always a good idea to use one of these and put it inside your razor to make sure everything is dry. So a pipe cleaner I find invaluable because you can't easily get inside the scales of a razor. Anyway, enough of this. Let's try what this little beast is going to do now. So this has now had 200 laps on a black Arkansas. So this is the Japanese Babaqueen. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, I think that's better. Well, that is definitely better. Well, well, well. Black arc. There's no drag in there at all. So, proving what a lot of others have said to me, quite rightly, that when you're not absolutely certain that your edge is right, put it onto a black Arkansas Yeah, it's easier. It's definitely not dragging. This is superb. I've still got plenty of residual scratches on the edge because I couldn't be asked to take them out. When you're talking about residual scratches, they have, I think, no effect whatsoever on the actual final apex. The final apex, the thing that's actually cutting your hair, is what counts. Against the grain, very nice. Across the grain, okay. I've had better. Let me try now, as a comparison. This is my wonderful, accidentally wonderful, I hasten to add. This is my restored Puma 91, which was quite heavily scratched and pitted when I restored it. I also touched up the gold panel because I did that as well. This has a proper Belgian cotical edge on it, and it shocked me how smooth it was. There's something about this cotical. It's rough, but it's kind. I'll figure that one out myself. What does he mean? Yeah, it's not as a sophisticated edge as the Black Arkansas. It really isn't. And yet it's somehow smoother. I think if it were a little bit more refined, it would be wonderful. Yeah, it's just got a slight benefit. I think they're very close. So I would say if you've got the time and you're prepared to put in 200 laps, I'm talking about that's 400 strokes. So 200 laps on a doubtful edge. Yes, it's wonderful. So Black Ark wins, definitely. However, the Laloon that I put on the Laloon edge was my first. So don't blame me. It's probably not that good. Each razor, each type of steel and each stone has slightly different technique and capability. But at the moment, I'm going to say I'm rather happy. Although it was a lot of effort, but I went straight from the Laloon edge straight to the Black Arkansas. And the Black Arkansas on this Japanese steel seems to work very well. This doesn't prove anything. Every razor steel is different, but certainly this one, yeah, little belter. Who would have thought? Because my next trick would have been to have taken it onto a synthetic, and a lot of people say Japanese steel might be better on a synthetic. Well, this is really good. This is a natural. But I had put the work in. It didn't take that long. I'm not really complaining. No, this is a first-rate razor, first-rate shave. I'm surprised. Yeah. Yeah. You can hear there's no resistance. This is swiping straight across, cutting without any drag or any resistance at all. So, Japanese steel for me on this particular razor, which is the little Babaqueen, does seem to prefer, at the moment, it seems to prefer a J-nat. Well, well, well. Yeah. No two ways about it. Yep. And this is only, is it the third time or fourth time that I've used this razor? And it came in its original wrapping, and the wrapping had some sort of protective grease on it, which of course had stained the blade and was just starting to pit it. When I say pit it, more like a very, very fine speckle. Because grease, particularly I would say Japanese grease, has got stuff in it. And it had probably been in there for 40 years. So I cleaned it up. I did not buff it, I just cleaned it. I put a little bit of Brasso on a piece of tissue paper. And I tissue papered it. Because the one thing you've got to be so careful of with a razor, you never want to lose the gold. Lovely little gold panel on there, as you can see, which has a queen's head, and it says Babaqueen. I'm not going to stay very much longer, chaps. For one thing, I'm freezing cold. When I went out on my bike, it was 1 degree, and I went to Tesco on the bike because I needed to be punished. And there's nothing more punishing than looking at the people in Tesco. However, where I live is not a very salubrious area. The cretins mostly like to go out and play football all day and shopping in Tesco. So I nearly ran one over on my bike. That's fun. Yeah, this is nice. And I'm not even used to this razor. I would now put this edge into top drawer quality. It's doing everything you could want. So, if you've got the time, put your 200 laps in. If you haven't got the time, the cuticle edge was very, very good. A rough edge. It was a rough edge, and yet a very kind shave. Let's go back to it. Let's just do a couple more strokes on this beautiful Puma. You can actually hear the difference. Because they're both deeply hollow ground, and I'm looking at funny. I look in here and I'm looking there. Yeah, they're both deeply hollow ground. There's nothing between them, but the feel is different. This cuticle edge is kinder. It's not as sharp. It's not as crisp. But it's kind. It looks as rough as a bear's backside when you look at it under a microscope. The cuticle is a strange creature. The little pointy stones inside a cuticle have to be watched very carefully. And that's why the masters of cuticles know which stone, which, you know, it's a vignette or whatever. They know which has more effect than others. The garnets, the little sharp garnet stones inside the slurry, can totally bugger up an edge. Excuse my French, that's of course a technical term. Yeah, I would say for touch-ups, this very refined edge, slightly better. No, about the same. for touching up. You can hear there's always a few brutally brittle hairs under the boko, under the nose. But, yeah, so if you're lucky and you're capable of using a coticle properly, they're less work, a lot less work than putting 200 laps. They're a very, very kind edge. So this has been quite a surprising journey for me this week. I would say today, for shaving quality, this little Japanese Babaqueen is superb. Now it's got, well, I think it's got a proper edge on it now, but that has the Arkansas black. So that's got a black arc edge, and this is pure coticle edge. And for comfort, the coticle, for sharpness and smoothness, I would say the Arkansas. Unfair comparison. German, probably 1950s. Probably 1970s. Japanese, hard steel. European steel. Difficult to say. Anyway, what a clever result that was. I thought I'd have to go back to doing a complete remap of the edge. I thought I'd have to do almost a wipe off that edge and use a synthetic and probably end up with a 20k. Didn't need to. Anyway, chaps, I hope I haven't bored you too much. This was an experiment more on one Japanese razor than anything else. Let's just go over quickly, very quickly. The dreaded alum. Nothing. Tiny bit there. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. So, yeah, obviously I went perhaps a little bit too hard just there. No marks. But anyway, that's what happens when you're using two razors and two different edges and you're in a hurry to go and get some lunch, which I am. Anyway, so it's now midday on a very cold Sunday. I just briefly was messaging Trevor Wolfson, and because he's in the middle of a heat wave, 32, 33 degrees over in South Africa. And I'm sure he's out there chasing the wildebeest, worrying the yaks. He's a big, strong bloke. He's probably chasing the lions as well. Anyway, I'm here in frozen southern England, and I don't like it. Chaps, thank you so much. I'll just finish off by giving a little bit of the aftershave. Aftershave. That'll do me. Feed your skin. You've only got one. And I've got to say, been quite an interesting week for me. So thanks so much for watching. Any new subscribers, I promise to do more exciting variations with giant blades and little blades and quarter hollows and full hollows very, very soon. That's it. That's me done. Thanks, chaps. Thanks for tuning in. See you all soon. Bye for now.